well.
Maybe.
I'm here. I'm here.
I don't know. Sort of. I'm thinking about it.
Guys, we've started. We're live. I mean, you already all said yes, so we've really boinked this intro, guys.
Why would you do this to us?
Oh, right, look, you should have been ready fucking 5 minutes ago, guys. This isn't on me anymore.
I'm not ready.
Oh, right, he wasn't ready. Right, we'll go back.
Nerding out about.
Right, okay, I'm allowed to show off the books on my shelf. This is my goddamn show, okay?
You seriously did just turn it off.
Right, okay. Well, it wouldn't have been a funny bit if I didn't just turn it off. Right, okay. Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Variant Rules, and specifically Variant Rules: The Sundered Realms, which is our custom Forbidden Lands setting. I'm here with the cast of the Sundered Realms, and you know what we like to do here on Variant Rules? We like to put people on the spot for their intro. So we're going to start today with our friend, the wonderful, the fabulous, the amazing, Uninformed RPG. Give us an intro to who you are.
Well, that's very much on the spot, yes. I am Uninformed RPG on YouTube and on Twitter at Uninformed RPG. I like to make videos about what it's like to be a new player and try and share my minimal wisdom with the masses. Try and get other people interested as well. That's the tagline. That's what I'm going with.
I like it. Good tagline. So strong general tagline there. Awesome. Well, thank you for introducing yourself. Sorry, everyone. I'm just getting paperwork ready. My cheat sheets and everything. We will jump over now to the one, the only, the magnanimous Temple City Games. Introduce yourself.
Magnanimous. That I am definitely not. I'm not that generous a person. Anyway. Hi, I'm Morgan, aka Tempest, and I'm here. Today I'm present and happy and pleased to be here and whatnot.
Are you mentally present? Because people who have to say I'm present usually aren't.
Are any of us ever really?
I'm pretty sure I'm more present than I was last week, which is a good thing. Right, so I also stream on the Twitch, and I write tabletop role-playing games. That's what I do. That's me. I'm on the Twitter by the same name. You can find me there.
Awesome.
On the Twitch and the Twitter.
The Twitch tour.
Yeah, there's a lot of teas going on in my situation. I'm just full of teas.
Is that
okay?
Is that a joke? Can we make that a joke?
That's the thing.
I can feel the cogs, the pun cogs in my mind turning at that, and I'm like, I don't think that works. We will go with someone who is
exciting one if it is.
It's really not. We will now go with someone who is sat now incredibly low in their camera, so that they're mostly covered up by the name tag. The wonderful Mod King Gaming 09, who just angle your camera down a bit more, I guess. You're really low.
I could sit up. I've got really bad back anyway. I should sit up. Yeah, I'm Mod King 09. Follow me on Twitter, Mod King 09. Where really all I do on there is just retweet a hell of a lot of fan art I like now. But I'm gonna start streaming, and once the job settles down over at Mod King Gaming, I don't know what I want to do yet. So if you want to just spam me with stuff you want to watch, then I'll probably do that. Although my computer can only handle so much. So.
Painting nails stream. I'd like to watch that. If you could do that.
I can paint nails pretty well.
Well, that's why
I would do that with you.
I can also do makeup pretty well as well. I've got many talents. So.
And now we'll pop over to basically not the predecessor, the successor to P.T. Barnum, the greatest showman. Sir Nade, please introduce yourself, my friend.
I was trying really hard to keep a straight face for that intro and just didn't expect I didn't expect that. Did you work on these throughout the week?
No, I'm just a little unhinged generally.
Okay. Okay.
How big's the glass
Oh,
of wine
dear.
we're drinking tonight, Ben?
That is
Agua.
white wine. It's just a flask of white wine.
This is tequila. This is just silver tequila.
Hey! I am the one, the only Cernade 44625789. Because that's how many other Cernades there are on the internet. But hey ho, just me.
Oof.
I would just advise people to go over to YouTube and subscribe to Off Topic.
I'm also on Off Topic. I'm there
Easy
too.
peasy.
Hey.
Easy, look. Every week I'm like, find me here. No more. Just
Off
come
Topic.
on, just go on. Good Off Topic. That's it. Simple.
We love
What do you
to
need
see
to
it.
be?
There's only one video on there, but sure, we love it.
There's only one video you need on there. Everyone knows the best YouTube videos just are set up for one video.
We like it. The channel is just one video. Go over there.
Yeah.
Right, someone's redeemed the chant live, so I'll do that. Oh, we like it.
I've been practicing that all week.
Wow. I love it, frankly. It's my
Also,
new favorite
can we just
thing.
get a quick round of applause? Me and Ben completed Valheim today.
We beat the
What's
last
Valheim?
boss. It
Only
was
took us 7 months.
I think we've got 277 in-game days. Each in-game day is 20 minutes, so you can probably work out how fucking long we've been on that game. So, intro to the game we're playing. We are playing in the Sundered Realms, a fractured world that is ruled by sorcerers. The players inhabit a fragment of this fractured world that you can see in our logo down there. The fragment is sun-scorched and held back to the planet with these giant metal chains that were basically created with all the transmuted metal from the world, so metal is very, very rare. There's this giant magical storm that you can see in our background image, constantly basically enveloping the Sundered Realms in order to keep the atmosphere in and keep you all alive. But because of that, magic has now become increasingly rare. Those who can channel the magical forces of the Maelstrom are traditionally called warlocks, the most powerful of them sovereigns, who rule like despot dictators over tiny parts of the fragment. What happened last time? Does anyone want to sum it up for me? For an extra point of XP at the end of the session?
Yes, I got it.
Ran towards a dragon.
Yeah.
I tried to fight a dead dragon, just for a little bit of metal. Well, let's start from the start, right? We trudged across a desert, a very dry desert. We came across an altar that had been used by some blood mages to do some freaky magic stuff.
Correct.
I get to drink blood.
Yeah. Shirt crease got to drink some blood, which was good for everybody. We decided who was gonna we decided who was gonna drink the blood. It wasn't me. We then walked towards some voices where we saw it was a gnoll and two humans with a broken skiff.
Yep. I had a lovely chat with them.
Yeah, Sam's character tried to converse with them. It all went badly because a random dwarf started shouting from above. But that didn't come to anything because a undead dragon swooped down. Plumes of gas filled this little mini canyon, and then he snapped his tower together, which was a piece of metal and flint, and caused it to all go ablaze. My character, Hoddle Ironheart, ever so bravely saved the life of the silly gnoll that had tried to converse with them, and then ever so bravely would not let up on fighting the undead dragon solo. Although
You're saying the same thing! I don't understand how you...
This is the stream now.
I don't understand. You've literally been saying the same...
Stratis. I got it.
Awesome.
There. There's an X. I've lost it again.
Right, so, yes. Stratis cast a spell on themselves, very briefly giving them a glimpse back into the One Thought, and survived a Dragon's Fire round. So I guess that'll lead us on to everyone really quickly introducing their characters, and then we will start the game.
And then we all walked towards a settlement led by Wet Fleece.
Called Cavassar.
Called
So I keep
Cavassar.
notes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
Can
we. You both can have XP because you remembered the town name, and that's quite impressive. So we will just very quickly, and please be quick, cast members, introduce your characters. We'll start with Stratis.
Stratis.
Fuck you.
Police.
You're loving this, aren't you, Morgan?
Okay. Right. Stratis is.
Oh, same with a K. We get to the next.
Stratis is a member of the Krilli species, which is a kind of bug-like, gray-skinned, big-eyed species that I'm sorry, they're called kin. I always forget that they're called kin. For some reason, that doesn't come to me really easily. The Krilliken, and which is a kin that used to have a hive mind before the sundering of the world, and now no longer has connection with each other, and therefore it's a real big issue for them. So, and in particular for Stratis, who is a young member of the kin, and is kind of, jonesing for their fix, really. They're a blood mage, and that's a good way that they can try and achieve that from time to time.
Yeah, so we will hop over to the Scorched Dwarf, Hoddle.
I am
how's that
Hoddle
going?
Ironheart. I am dwarf. The way I like to describe my character is imagine, the dwarven people, historically in fantasy, are well known for their metal smithing. Imagine if a dwarf had no metal. Imagine that, because that's the way it actually is. No metal. Punk rock tried to destroy the metal, and they failed. But Ben has managed to do it through storytelling alone. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Just an old sad dwarf who hasn't got any metal,
but really wants some. We will go down to Artigan Windwalker. Please give us a description of Artigan.
My opinion, best name out of all of us. Sorry, Stratis. Yours is good, but Artigan Windwalker. Oh.
Artigan Windwalker. He is the Jabari druid of the party. He is a shapeshift druid, the traditional druid, if you will. He is a bit of a loner. He's been on the run from society in general due to his nature as being a Jabari. He's got quite a pale complexion, almost grey in some ends, and he's got these white sort of freckles that glisten on his face and all over it, down his arms, from fragments of willpower crystals, which is a resource that's very much sought after in the world, and everybody wants it. Has a sense, people want him. So yeah, like I said, he's just been trying to stay out of people's ways for the better part of his life, but he's starting to try and figure out what it might be like to play with others and see if he can find a place among a group for the first time ever. So we'll see how that goes, I guess.
Awesome, and then we will jump down to the person I think has the best name, because it's the most null name I've ever fucking heard. Nurk Honest Tooth.
Yeah, I'm playing the Knoll Peddler, Nurk Honest Tooth. Yeah, he's survived in this land just on his wits and lack of wits as well alone. Elderly guy, just trying to get about. He doesn't really care for himself much. He's in rags, but he'll help people as long as it helps him.
Awesome. So, when we last left this band of scoundrels, they were walking beaten and bruised, to the town of Cavassar. Now, Cavassar is a pretty traditional town here on the fragment. It's basically, most of the towns on the fragment are built off of some large structure that was there before the Sundering. This one specifically is built around this crumbled wizard's tower. So you can see like a fat base of a tower that's probably about half a mile long, and would have been this colossal thing, but it's obviously fallen down during the Sundering. And then like a bunch of buildings have been kind of clustered around it. Docks for sand skiffs have been built. You see a lot of kind of, we would see it today as kind of that like early Greek kind of architecture, of like really small houses that like kind of like big windows. But a lot of it is covered over with fabric because it's much easier to get fabric in the Sundered Realms. You can very obviously see a bunch of skiffs are docked around Cavassar. And one of them in particular has taken your eye, the Fae Dancer, which has this big carved fairy on the front of it, and has a black flag with a green skeleton holding a long sword, which you saw earlier. As you're basically like stumbling towards the town, you notice a woman come out and speak to the two guards who are in front of you, and then she looks over at you. She says a few words. And then you see she runs back into the town. This is when you're still fairly far away. You see this happen. And as you get a little bit closer, she runs out with, bundled in her arms, a bunch of those leaves that we saw earlier. The big, juicy, gooey, basically like succulent leaves that were full of water. As she runs closer, you can see that this is a Jabari woman in kind of red satins and silks. She's got a large kind of sawtooth. It looks like it was the fang of some beastie, but it's very clearly been made into some kind of sword. Big razor teeth. And she's running at you with this bundle of those hydration leaves towards you.
Great. Upon seeing that, I'll because I'm not thirsty, I'll point over and go, I can't remember what accent I did now. Huddle over there, he needs water soon as help him.
Water!
He's also been on fire, so he definitely needs help.
Water!
All right, there, friend. Here, take one of these, and she hands over one of the succulents, and she's like, "I've got enough for y'all. What about you?"
Yeah, I'll take one of them.
Ah, it's nice to see a familiar face, and she hands one to Artigan. Not many Jabari around these parts, and she looks up and down the. I'm guessing you've still got blood, so you're like the blood-soaked Krilli, and kind of very slowly puts a hand out with a succulent towards you.
Shatis is actually still like half behind Artigan as they reach out and sort of take it, and they also they act like there's something really odd about this woman as well.
I heard you fine fellows took on a dragon. Now that sounds like bollocks to me, because we've not seen one of them in a long time. But
took on's probably an exaggeration. We barely escaped. It's probably a better description.
Well, you are looking a bit worse for wear.
Hey, is there any chance that my companions and I might find rest?
Well, you know what they say, nothing's free on the fragments. But if you're looking for a job, I could possibly provide one. You can now see this woman's face is encrusted around kind of the crown with those like fragments of willpower. They're glowing a slight scarlet across sort of their temple.
As she says this, I'm gonna sort of just be fueled with rage, and I'm just gonna like crunch the leaf I'm holding, and just go, "Do I look like I need a goddamn job? I need a bath. I need a beard, and a beer. I need a beer."
She looks you up and down and says, "Mate, have you seen what you're wearing?" You look like you need a job more than any of these fine fellas.
Well, I can't speak for him, but I can speak for myself. Yes, work is definitely something that I think we should consider. At this point, I have to say, we've been in a precarious situation for a while now, and a bit more of a routine and a purpose might do us all some good.
Well, that is excellent news, because you're going to need to start paying off your debt to me.
He sort of cocks his head sideways, silent, wordlessly, and then just sort of...
She waves one of the
Like
hydration plants.
Yeah, Curtis nudges him and points at the leaf.
I know, but after a couple of seconds, he sort of... Well played.
Well, you know what they say. There's no honesty on the fragments either. Come on.
Depends.
You've got to pay your tax. And she takes you through up to the city. If you're following her, basically the first thing that'll hit you is the thick, scent of incense and spices. And the second thing that'll hit you is kind of like a sickly sweet undertone to all of that. You're imagining this isn't the most sanitary place, but they're just like burning as much smelly shit as they can in order to kind of mask that. All of the buildings, apart from the main tower, are made of like kind of like sandstone-like material. A lot of the streets have big multicolored fabrics like draped around them. You're seeing a lot of gnolls, a lot of humans. No dwarves are really scattered out in front of there. You're seeing maybe one or two Jabari, and like you see Krilli like following a bunch of people around holding like stone tablets, and they seem to be like scribing things down on stone tablets. Kind of going into the city, you see those guards are talking to like a little man who's sat in like a wooden kind of what do you call it? Like a little stall, like a little wooden stall thing. And you basically get in the queue behind them for this wooden stall. They're talking about something, and as you kind of get closer, you hear that they're like talking about what just happened to all of you, and really exaggerating it so it sounds way worse than it was. Like they've said that there was 2 dragons, and that you guys came from a little private army and all of you got wiped out. Like they're really bigging up this story. And as they basically get to the point where, yeah, the sand skiff was destroyed, all the spices are gone, you see the guy behind nod, and he like rings a little bell. And kind of everyone has gone a little bit quiet at that point. And you kind of hear like faintly bells ringing, like going down the city street. That guy, those two guys that survived, like kind of hang their head a little bit and move to the side and let you go to the little booth.
I walk up and go, Joey, there's some form of tax we got to pay. No lie, we've been out in the wastes for 3-4 days since one of the towns was destroyed. Wandering, I don't know what much we got to offer. Honest, I've got a human skull if you want it. Some form of skull.
He like tilts his head at you.
I found it.
And he kind of puts a hand out.
A hand over the skull.
He individually pulls the teeth out of it, hands you back the skull, and then kind of gestures for you to go. But only gestures for you to go.
Ah, they're the best bits. And I just walk off to the side and wait for everyone else.
Who's the next to step up to the booth?
I mean, I will go, but I have nothing. I have no gear at all. So, if he's expecting something...
Are you just staring at him? Because Nurk kind of just paid it instantly without like letting any interaction happen. So, are you saying something to the man, asking what the tax is for, or...?
I mean, I don't really know what you're expecting me to offer, friend. And I'd sort of make a show of like going through my cloak and showing him that I don't have anything on me. Like,
He sighs kind of softly and goes, "Name?"
Artigan.
And you see him write it down, and he goes, "You been here before?
First time.
You have 48 hours," and then you see like picks up what looks to be like a bug, like a it's got like a horrible little purple bug with like quite sharp little mandibles, and he puts it on your hand. And as he puts it on your hand, well, he gestures for you to put a hand out, basically.
Okay, I'll do it.
Puts this bug on your hand, and you have a sharp feeling of pain as this thing kind of like burrows into your hand and sits on the back of your hand, like under the skin.
Charming. 48
Kind of
hours.
nods like this is a regular thing. Because you're a wizard, you know that that's not actually a real bug. Like it's some kind of like magical creation, and you imagine it's basically just there to mark you as a debtor in a way that can like disappear once you've paid off your debt.
I'll stop here because I speak for these guys. How much is the debt? How much needs to be covered per person?
He taps a big sign that's above him, and as he taps it, you notice like it was covered in dust before, and a bunch of dust like kind of like falls off of it, and it says 5 eyes. Anyone been to this town before or want to do me a kind of a lore check?
Give you a basic wits check.
You can
I'll
give.
do a lore check.
Okay.
How
I'll let
how
you do
old is the
lore. If
town?
you've got lore,
I mean,
I'll go for lore.
I've obviously been around.
Yeah,
I've been around for a very long time.
It's one of the first towns on the fragment.
Okay, so I would have maybe have been here or at least have heard of it.
Awesome.
No,
I'll
no
give you
questions.
a +2 to a lore check if you want to do the lore check because you've been around so long. Stratis, you don't get a plus because you're a little babby. A little babby in these parts.
Right. And it's Surtees, by the way.
I'm gonna kill this character and make you play one with a fucking easy name.
So,
You're gonna be
with
like
a
Jeff.
Bread.
with a +2, what am I rolling here?
2 extra base attribute dice.
Okay,
Oh no, 2 extra skill dice. Sorry.
2 extra skill. So it's, I'll never get used to this. It's base then skill. And what base is this? Wits?
Yeah, lore is a wits roll. Stratis, you will know this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's an actual law skill.
Yes. Well, you'll both know this. So, the currency in this town, obviously metal's gone, is these, like glass beads with a stamp that's basically pressed on them. The lowest form of currency in this town is an eye. So it's like 5 copper pieces, essentially. You know, the next highest is a scepter, which is another bead, but it's got a scepter printed into it, and that's about a silver. And then the last thing on there is a sovereign, and that is essentially a picture of the warlock who is the sovereign here, and that's Eyeball the Bold. But you don't see like a face; you just see like a man like wrapped in a bunch of silks with a single eye facing towards the.
You say
coin.
Eyeball the Bold or Eyeball the Bold?
Eyeball.
Eyeball.
Eyeball the Bold.
Okay.
So named because he was one of the first people to channel the Maelstrom. But no one has seen his face. You know that he covers himself in these like purple silks from head to toe now. He's known to now be a much larger gentleman, and you only ever see his mouth and his eyes if he ever comes about. But it's like if he comes about, it's usually a bad sign.
That's not suspicious at all.
Gonna be
An
four
NPC who
kobolds in
you
a
can only
coat.
see his mouth and eyes.
Mhm.
That's not going to be trouble.
No, just one eye.
Just one eye.
Yeah,
that's
so
even
he's got
worse.
silks that kind of like cross over here, and then he's got like a mouth hole. You've never actually seen him, you just know that that's how people have described him to you. Yeah.
Oh, just stand on your left side.
Because I asked for how much it was. Oh, thank you very much, sir. I'll make a note of that. You see, like I just start scratching into a stone and pull out my thing just to make sure I'm.
Yeah, you've probably got like a clay tablet or something to tally your winnings. Yeah, 5 eyes. So you've been given the bug. Who's next to step up?
Stratis is right behind Artigan, and they watch as the bug like arrives at the back of Artigan's hand, and they sort of look in the middle distance for a second, and then try and hand over the bit of succulent and see if he'll take the succulent without saying anything.
He looks down at the plant. He kind of tosses his head back and forth, and then you see he reaches into his own pockets and like deposits some glass beads into his little jar, and then picks up the succulent, starts sucking it, and waves you through. So that usually wouldn't class as paying the toll, but he's been out here a long time. He wants a drink, so yeah, he'll let you pay for it with a hydration plan. Awesome. Finally, Hardle.
Yep, I step up. It's been
He
about
waves-
20 years since I've stepped through these parts. It's almost reassuring to see that nothing's changed. You don't see tradition on the shards anymore.
Well, you know what they say. Nothing's free apart from for you. And then you see he rings that bell. He stops and he rings it twice. And he stops and he rings it a third time. And echoing through the city, you hear like bells repeating the thing. And he gestures not for you to go forward, but to go stand with the guards.
Right.
Huddle, what you done?
See you later, friends.
So the guards aren't that segregated. Like you're basically like behind a small wooden fence from your friends. This it's not like crazy like post 2002 like security. It's like it's like a little dog. He as you stand there, you're noticing like crowds further up, closer to the wizard's tower, are kind of splitting. You've still got Eagle Eye active, Artigan, right?
I would just check the. It lasts for 15 minutes, so probably.
So probably not. No. Basically, if we're waiting, we're seeing the crowd split, and you're getting even heavier of that like perfumed incense smell, like bellowing out. You can now see 2 Knoll guards holding up on the front, and 2 human guards holding in the back, like a lifted up like carriage thing that's covered in purple silks. Next to it, strolling out, is a really well built, either human or Jabari, you can't tell because they're wearing this like armor that looks like it's made by like it's made out of like the carapaces of bugs. So it's kind of takes the form of plate armor if it was made of just like giant cockroach shells. That person's holding what you see is I've forgotten exactly what the name is, but they're like these Mayan clubs that have got like shards of obsidian in. Like that's what he's holding. So like a big flat club with shards of obsidian running all the way up its edges. And as they're walking down, you see like the crowd is just instantly splitting, and people are kind of like stopping what they're doing. Like even the Krilli that were like walking around like following people with clay tablets have stopped and are just staring. Like maybe this is going to be a thing, like a big thing in town.
As I see this, I'll actually get closer to Huddle, sort of like as really bad backup, just in case anything goes down.
It's all right, kids. It's not the it's not my first rodeo. It's the curse of having little legs, you know.
Yeah, but you saved my life earlier today. If I can help in this, you know I will.
And as you're waiting, it gets closer, and then the guards who are holding the carriage slowly turn it to face like right in front of you, and it gets like put down on the ground. One of the silk sashes from the top of this thing is thrown open, and a incredibly massive man, which is insane for the Sundered Realms because everyone's like kind of starving a little bit. This guy who is larger than life steps out in these full, floating, almost billowing purple silks. You can see one eye, and you can see a smiling, carved up mouth, and that's kind of the only flesh that's visible under these billowing purple robes.
I'm going to look completely unfazed and begin to drink my succulent leaf.
You're like sipping on it like a juice box, like a Capri Sun.
Yeah. Can I untick thirsty now? Because I've been thirsty for a very
You
long
can
time.
untick thirsty. You see basically like the guard in the big carapace armor like stiffens up as soon as this man steps out, and like he's following and almost doing like robotic movements. Like that's how like practiced this person is. And the large man who you assume is Eyeball the Bold steps out, eating what looks to be like a chicken leg, and throws it to the side as he gets out. And he's staring at the two guards who instantly kind of get to one knee. And you're noticing everyone now around you is getting to one knee.
I'm not going to. I'm going to go. I've heard the legend. You must be Ebor.
As
How can I help?
you say that,
So he's approached Hoddle.
He's approached Hoddle and the guards. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. So as you say that, you start to feel your throat drying up again. To the point where you can't like get a word out. You're not like you don't have the thirsty condition, but your voice is kind of like trapped in your throat as it kind of dries off. And you're like all now noticing like Eyeballs like you don't see his hand, but where his sleeve is, you're noticing like a swirling motion from underneath. The maelstrom up ahead is not crackling with lightning, but the lightning is more like kind of dancing like elegantly around above you in the maelstrom, as you're kind of like every time you try and speak, your throat is getting drier and drier, and it's harder and harder to get out a word. Are you going to continue trying to speak, or are you?
I do a few times, as you said, as I keep trying to speak, it's not happening. So eventually, I don't take a knee, but I sort of slump and just sort of like go, like as in I get it.
Yeah. As soon as you show that little bit of respect, instantly you're kind of the juices of your throat, I guess, return. You can. You're not thirsty or anything. You're fine now.
I'm gonna sip the last bit of my succulent and just be like,
Yeah, loud, a few little coughs.
Like it goes on for a long time. There's lots of, and I imagine as there's just complete silence throughout this entire place, the only noise they go.
What's the rest of the party doing? Are you taking the lead of the people around you, or are you standing tall?
Tertice goes down on a knee like as soon as they see like other people doing it, like really quickly, and they're tugging on Artigan's like cloak.
I would have got down as well, but keep my head up, like keep an eye on the scene around me, and obviously, if everyone else is going down with their heads down, I'm keeping my head up, or at least in a subtle sense of.
I feel like it's a bad idea, but I'm standing close to Huddle and following his lead by just not like standing strong, but like hunched, but standing next to Huddle.
Cool. As long as you're not saying anything, Eyeball is not going to mess with you for a second. You see he like beckons over the two guards, and it's almost like his silks are submerged in water, the way they're like kind of flowing around him. And you see the guards like very shakily like go up to Eyeball, and you hear, "So friends," from the large man, "where is my spices?" And they kind of look at each other, and they're trying to figure out who should tell the story. And they're like, "Well, you see, there was a dragon. Yeah, there was a dragon, and they're gone." And Eyeball, like, there's like an uncomfortable silence, and then he goes, "Where are my spices?" And as they're kind of looking around, and they're like, "There was they're kind of like looking back at Hoddle for help here, to be kind of like, you saw the dragon, right? Like, you could."
Not gonna say anything.
I will chime in and go, Honourable Eyeball, I have to agree with these two buffoons. They are right. There was a undead dragon. I don't know. I got hurt, and I'll gesture down to my partially destroyed leg. I was like, I got hurt. Huddle here, he got burnt by the dragons. Well, he's got that new nice trim on him. It's been a bit of a rough 24 hours for us, but I can back up what these guys say.
As you're saying this, you notice Eyeball's one visible eye is intently, like, almost burning into your soul as he looks at you. And he goes, "So my spices are gone."
Yes, the dragon burnt them and ate them. Now, we were trying to help out your guards here in clearing those. The skiff had like run aground, and we were trying to help them out because we'd been wandering a bit, and a lift back to town would have been helpful. But whilst we were trying to parlay, the dragon came down, and it took us all by surprise, I must say. It's not often you see one, is it? Yeah.
He still is burning with that eye, and he goes, "You helped them out? Nothing is free on the fragments." And he reaches into his silk and throws you a bag of 50 eyes, which are those like little glass currency beads. And he goes, "But," and then he looks at them, and he kind of clicks a finger underneath his flowing silks, and the guard in the carapace armor like steps forward and produces a scroll which looks like it's a contract, pulls it out. Eyeball like runs you don't see his hand, but like through the silks you can kind of see the outline of a finger like running through. "Our deal." And then you see him again like swirl a hand, and this time instead of it like elegantly dancing, the maelstrom seems to just all at once erupt. And then these two guys start screaming in agony, and you can feel the heat coming off of them. Artigan probably doesn't know what this spell is, but Sratis has definitely heard of Immolate. He's definitely casting that, and he's casting it really strongly. And you start to like see like blisters go all up their arms from where their like cardiovascular system is, as he sets their blood on fire inside their bodies. And they kind of collapse on the ground. He looks over back at Nurk, and he goes, and he kind of strolls up to you, and he puts one fully kind of silked arm on your shoulder, and he goes, "The next time someone tries to go back on a deal, you remember what you saw here, friend." And he like laughs, and he slaps you on the back, and he's like, "Well, what are you all doing?" And he gestures at everyone bowing. "Go back on your business, back on your business." And he tries to like go back to his.
Okay, before everybody like parts ways, and as he turns around in just the quiet moment, Sratis like is still head down, completely on their knees, says, "It bore that other skiff's colors."
How quietly are you saying it?
maybe I would say they're not. But he probably can't hear what Stratis is saying. It might depend on the others to speak up for them.
I'll hear it.
You'll hear it, and okay. Anyone doing anything about that? Ivor is just going to get in his carriage.
I just start with, you've done well, Eibor, to master the Maelstrom like that.
He turns around very quickly and he goes, "Ah, yes. 3 bells, I remember. So, if you come to work for me, Master Dwarf."
Look at me. My working years are well behind me. It's clear, Eibor, you're a smart man. I wasn't born under the Maelstrom. I've seen the true sky, and I've seen a dragon.
Oh, all this
Now.
talk of dragons. I'm not sure I quite believe you.
But
But,
I've seen an undead dragon,
my
and
friend,
it was draped in your colours.
my colors. It's a purple dragon?
No. The other one, the one that we saw when we got here.
Yeah.
So, just to really skiff explain, one skiff had that kind of, that flag on it, not all of the skiffs.
I thought it was on the back. Oh, a skiff parked up, wasn't it? At the
Yeah,
front?
so this is like a
Just
big
on the
port.
Fae Dancer.
One of
okay, I
them,
see, I
the
see.
Fae Dancer
Yeah.
specifically has that.
Yeah.
They're here, Eibor.
Who is here?
I'm going to look back at Stratis. And
Stratis.
yeah,
If you
Sure,
look at
please.
Stratis, Eyeballs, one very intense eye looks at Stratis, and if Stratis makes eye contact, they're going to really feel the pressure of this incredibly powerful being looking at them.
Stratis is not making eye contact with nobody.
I kind of assumed that was going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah.
You still can feel them almost burning a hole looking through you, but yeah.
yeah.
so after the little bit of silence, I'm just going to go, you know what? It's none of my business. I'm too old for this. Good luck.
He looks back over and he's like, "So you do not want a job at metalworking?"
I have no words.
He takes that kind of as a no, and he's like, "Well, good luck with your visit to my town. Enjoy the cash. Maybe next time, friend." And he kind of gets back in he struggles to get in his carriage, and then you see these incredibly ripped gnolls and humans like lift him back up, and his armored guard follows the carriage back as it goes through the town.
I was never that big. I turn around to Artigan and go, Mr. Druid man, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. There's to pay your debts. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know how the world works. There you go.
Much appreciated.
Are you going to go over and pay your tax?
Yeah, I put my hand down, the one with the bug in the back of it, and I put the coins down on the other hand and keep it the coins are here, and it's kind of and as he goes to reach for them, I just put my hand over the top of them and tap the finger with my other hand.
So what you actually see is when you put the coins in the other hand, the thing on the back of your hand starts crawling up your arm and around to try and get to the hand with the coins in. You can feel it's this really sickly feeling of this actual thing crawling under your skin. And when it gets to where the coins are, your hand slowly opens up and it carries all the coins off and places them in the pile. It's a really gross bug thing. It's a really gross thing.
Let's see
I
this.
like it.
Interesting trick.
I turn to Artigan and go, it's like my ex-wife, and then just Just walk off back to huddle.
That's a question I want answered another time.
I'm still standing exactly where I was, looking at the exact same spot that I was looking at, just in complete silence.
Huddle. Huddle.
I just slowly turn my head and look up at him.
What's that about? Did you know you? Did he know you? Dealings with him before?
No. He just knows I'm a dwarf.
It's
We don't
kind
know
of
you were a dwarf.
yeah.
That's not exactly a secret.
Yeah.
Surtees tugs on Artigan's cloak again and says, he's a blood mage.
Powerful one, I gather.
Very.
We don't want to cross him. I look back and sort of make eye contact with Shrutis. Well, maybe not yet anyway. And I wink.
Yeah, Surtees looks confused. They have no idea what that's about.
Do you even have eyelids to wink like back? I don't think you can wink back.
Maybe not.
What is this thing you just did with your eyes?
The fuck are those? You just close one eye. How did you do that? The kind of hustle and bustle kind of returns to this port, and as you're kind of stood there, eating basically like a peach, you see your savior from the desert, the person who brought you that food, the person who you now owe a debt to, just kind of leant up against the post, and she goes, "Well, you're meeting all the famous faces, aren't you?"
Alright, first you, now I bore. It's been a good day of getting to town, it seems.
I don't think I ever introduced myself. I am and I'm sure you've heard of me, the famous Claret Moore.
Haven't heard of you.
Well, most people haven't, but one day everyone will have heard of the famous pirate queen, Claret Moore. Although I do need a skiff for that and to commit some actual piracy. But now you're indebted to me. I believe that makes you my crew.
No, it doesn't.
But I need.
defer to him in matters of social politics. So.
You see Clara kind of looks really confused. Like this was she basically thought this was like a trump card, and she'd finally got a clue, like her crew, and she's kind of now just like, oh shit, no, that didn't work, I guess. So she kind of, her eyes kind of dart around very quickly.
Listen,
Wait
kid,
a sec.
I've just come the closest I've ever come in my life to finally getting my hands on some metal again. And I've also just come the closest in my life to selling my actual soul. If you think I'm now gonna jump on a fucking skiff with you and just don't waste our time.
She looks at you and goes, "What do you mean the closest you've ever been? You've never been to Anchor?
What?
Have you never been to Anchor?" She says, and like just looks at you like you should know what that is.
I stop for a second and just... I recall going to somewhere called Anchor many, many years ago, but it was a shithole.
So you probably know... You probably wouldn't know of Anchor. It's a newer town. But she's acting like it's a really famous town, but obviously you've been in a shitty stilt town for however long, so... That's
kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I'm recalling a town called Anchor that was obviously just terrible. And was probably a stilt town.
Yeah, she's like, the one built next to a chain.
No, I think I'm talking of the one middle of a desert, big sticks.
Oh no! They found that there's one of the chains on this fragment. It leads up
I think
to.
You're wrong. I'm pretty sure it's west from here.
Are you thinking of Lanker?
No, that's Stanker.
That is... Oh, Stan... It could be Stan... You know what? We use Kerr for a lot of our town names. I wonder what the kind of derivation of that is.
I'm familiar with a place similar, but I believe it starts with a W.
Oh, yeah, the town of Wan. That was a great place.
Yeah, Wan. I've been to Wan. It's nice.
Yeah.
Although it did get destroyed in a sandstorm a couple of years back. Anyway, yeah, Anchor. It's built basically out of a chain. All the houses kind of spiral up the thing. It's really fucking cool.
What's your point?
Well, it's built on metal. If you wanted to get to metal, you'd need to get to Anchor.
Look, I told you not to waste our time. What are you offering?
I'm offering you to be part of my crew, and we can sail around and maybe, you know, go to Anchor, find some buried treasure. That's what pirates do, right? Piracy, we could... And she kind of looks around and sees like a bunch of merchant ships there, and she goes, do some piracy? Like, looks like darts around. You know, like fucking pirates. I'll be your trusted captain, and you'll be my loyal crew.
I'm not calling you captain.
Have you ever piloted a skiff, miss?
I've been on a skiff, yes.
So you need someone who could operate a skiff.
Well, sure. I mean, I could do it, obviously. Like, she's very obviously lying. But, you know, all hands on deck and all that. I'm more of a bring me the horizon type gal, you know. But, yeah, no, sure, if you can sail, that'd be helpful. And you, bug person, you can help somehow. What are you good at?
It's impossible to bring somebody the horizon.
Keeping me humble. You see, you can help keep me. Because how can you bring? That's a very good point. And presumably, we can sell the Jabari to some kind of person who wants to extract the willpower crystals, or you know, you could. You're probably magic, right? All you Jabari are you? Well, I'm a Jabari, so we probably. I'm not magic. Look, I'm saying it's a great idea.
I'm I look around at the others. I'm pretty sure I'm not the smartest person in this group. And even I can see you've got fuck all to offer.
True. You obviously came to us trying to get us indebted in your service for a reason. What's the plan? We can then figure if it's a good plan, and if not, we can make a new plan. I know you've mentioned metal to this dwarf. If you give him a direction and point and tell him where it is, he's going to head there, probably through another fucking dragon. So,
I'm just gonna like give him a whack. Then like you've just given away like my biggest weakness.
Okay, well,
biggest weakness is your short legs, bud.
I wasn't going to tell you out in front of all these people, so gather round and like gestures for you to get in a huddle.
No.
Would you not? Would it be better if we just went somewhere more private?
That's a great idea. You're the brains of the operation. We got a whole crew here, people.
Well, then why don't you lead the way?
I will. This way, and she takes you through like some silk-covered alleys, into what looks like this really dingy, rundown bar. There's a few people kind of about, but it's not like nighttime, so no one's like in this bar. And takes you to kind of a corner. There's like a glowing, what looks to be like a glowing pebble in the center that's kind of giving off like mood lighting. And you're all given like firewater shots, essentially. And sat around the table, and she goes, I know of a map that'll take us to Cinnabar's Hoard. Now, I don't have the map. What I have is a map to the map. But if we find the map and also possibly steal one of Cinnabar's ships, then we could get to Cinnabar's Hoard.
1. No map.
No, but I have a map to the map.
2. No fucking skiff.
Yes.
3. We don't want to go to any fucker's hoard. We want to get to that fucking chain.
You're being very negative today, Hod.
I got fucking burns. Look at me.
Yes, you did.
I'm just like, I'm still like red, blistered, burnt beard, the lot. I look like a burnt victim.
Who's Cinnabar?
You surely must have heard of the Dread Pirate Cinnabar. Scourge of the Black Sand.
I mean, haven't we heard of him?
Aye, because he fucking died about 50 years ago. Now, I
Nothing but a fable.
I know you might have heard that he, did some dark ritual magics and came back as an all-powerful Lich Lord. But I promise you that that's probably only 50% true. So he's probably not all-powerful. But, what's a ghost pirate between friends? And we're all good friends here, right? She knocks down like 4 of those firewater shots like in rapid succession. And then like fishes out like a glass dagger knife and starts like idly playing 5-finger fillet, but like still just staring at you guys. Like she's done this a million times.
What's your name again?
Claret Moore.
What?
Claret Moore.
Claret.
Sorry,
Other than us, where's your other friends, Claret?
So, about that, we almost had a skiff before. We got it kind of out of the dock, but turns out it was one of Ibor's, and he, and she kind of like, pulls back like the kind of shoulder on her silks, and you can see like a very muscular shoulder, but it's got like a bunch of really deep, but not like very long, but like a bunch of them, like scratch marks. Summoned like a horde of some like flying fucking male spawn. I don't really know. They were demon-esque. They had skull faces. It was fucking terrifying. But as long as we don't steal one of Ibor's ships, we'll have a ship.
And how do we know which ones are eyeballs? The purple ones, I'm going to assume.
Aye, those ones. But
does Cinnabar have colours?
Aye.
Any loyalists that still serve under his name?
He's got colours, alright. Black flag, green skeleton, longsword.
Oh fuck.
Yes, I believe we spotted one of those in the harbour, did we not?
Aye.
Everyone sort of knowing.
That's the plan.
Right. It's a pretty stupid plan as it stands now.
And also on a dead dragon. I think she wants us to steal from a Lich Lord.
Do I
I think there's an actual Lich Lord involved here.
Is Citrice saying this to the table or just to, well, quietly, like?
Let's just, unless I say that that they're like properly like trying to get everyone's attention, probably the only person that can actually hear what they're saying is Artigan.
Okay.
You see that they've now been playing 5-finger fillet so long that the obsidian knife is blunt, and they just kind of discard it on the table and take a few more shots. Look, guys, I'm telling you, we'll go out, right? I'm not even sure it's one of his legitimate ships. Like, I've met the crew of the Fae Dancer. They don't seem like that kind of scary type.
We have nothing at all on us, right? You know that.
Well, you're indebted to me, so you've got a debt. And I saw that Ivor gave you the bag.
I mean,
What's the debt?
Put a price on the
gear.
debt.
What's the debt?
What do you mean, what's the debt? I saved
What's
your
the
life.
debt?
It's a life debt, right?
What's
I saved
the
your life.
fucking debt?
It's a life
I was
debt?
already alive. I was living. I was walking into the town. It's not a life debt. It's a fucking leaf. It's a leaf.
Okay, so it's about 5 eyes each, but like if you think about it,
So we
if
owe
you
you
didn't
5
have
eyes.
that,
That's
you could have
fine.
died. And I'm like helping you. I'm like navigating you through the social hierarchy that is Cavassar.
yeah.
If you think about it, I'm like your guide or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So it's 5 eyes or steal a Lich Lord's fucking ship.
Well, you could put it like that, but you could say it's an adventure and 5 eyes because I am actually going to need those back.
Oh, well, you fucking got me now.
There are
Well-
rumours of
How about this, miss? How about there's 5 of us here, right? 5 of us, big treasure. We got to get a map to a map. Got to get a map to a map. We've got to get a skiff to get to the map, and then after we've got the skiff to the map, to the treasure, likely my dwarf friend here will want to go to Anchor. I would like to follow him to Anchor. So if we get the skiff to get to the map, to get to the treasure, I'm happy to follow you. After we get to that treasure, I'm happy to take that skiff with Hoddle to Anchor, and from there we can all part ways. But this isn't a debt. I can pay our debt to you, our debt, right now. I like adventure. I'm old. I haven't got much left to live for. I say we split the treasure equally 5 ways.
Clara looks like you've just stabbed her in the heart when you say split the treasure 5 ways. She very quickly tries to recover from it. She's like, and she's kind of like raking the blunted dagger across the table. We could,
I'm the only one
I guess, split the treasure. I think, maybe like 40-60 to me, and then you, because I have the map to the map, you wouldn't even know how to get to the map.
Yes, that was
no
my
guarantee
next
that
question.
gets to the map.
That was my next question, Clara.
Yeah.
Where does this map to a map actually lead? The map that you have, this map that you say leads to another map, which physical location does it actually lead to?
Well, it's supposed to be at the Centurion Grove, but it's like hidden in the Centurion Grove. So, you'd need me. You wouldn't know how to get it otherwise. It's not.
My last question.
It's not like it's directly in the center of the Centurion Grove and you could dig it up. That would be ridiculous. Okay, it's a little bit like that, but I have the map to the Centurion Grove. So
my last question is, how did you come into this map to a map again?
Well, you see, one time I was in Barcoon, right? And you know what they're like over there. The Gnolls they're all best friends, they're all talking to each other, and one day there was an art auction, and it was supposed to be a portrait of the Dread Pirate Cinnabar himself, but secretly on the back of the portrait was a map to the map, right? So what I did is, and I know this sounds like we can never go to Barcoon because otherwise we'll get killed, but I stole it from one of the Gnoll aristocrats there. I believe his name was Dork, but can't remember. So I stole that, and then we fled. But all of the rest of the crew of that heist kind of died.
I'll get really close to her, and this time, first time you ever see me bare my gums in angriness and go, 5 ways, or we walk.
Clara looks round and then goes, I mean, I fucking guess 5 ways, but you have to call me Captain.
I'm not calling you Captain.
I'll call you Captain. Why not? There you go.
She then proceeds to point like every person in turn, asking, you have to call me Captain. If Hoddle says no, she kind of just skips over Hoddle and they go, you have to, it's part of the deal, you have to do it.
Well, that sounds like a fairly fair trade to me.
Awesome. What about you? Pointing at Stratis.
Oh. Stratis just lowers their head.
I'll take that as a yes. Awesome. We have a deal. So all now we have to do is steal a skiff from possibly the crew of a Dread Pirate, but possibly actually just, fakers. But also possibly not fakers.
Can I just, for no reason at all, look around, see if anyone's paying attention to us right now?
Literally, no one is paying any attention to you. You get the idea that everyone's trying to avoid your table because it's got Claret Moore on it.
In response to what Claret says, Stratis says, definitely not fakers.
Did you just say that to Artigan, or did you say it loud enough that she would be able to hear?
I mean, everyone can hear that she's talking.
Okay, Claret will lean in and go, "What? What was that? First mate?"
At this point, I'm also gonna go, I'm getting fucking sick of this. You need to speak up, kid.
Got your old dwarf face. You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Hate this dwarf.
It just always sounds like like distant mumbling to me. Sometimes I can't even tell where it's coming from. Is that been you?
I thought you were mute.
Talking about the dwarf as well.
Yeah, Claret like leans in and goes, What was that?
So, how many fingers does a Krilli have? That's what I want to know.
Like 3. They're kind of like Klingon hands.
Okay. So, Surtees, Klingon.
Yeah,
You really don't watch enough Star Trek.
Yeah, I don't
Jeez Louise.
Right.
Oh my
Vulcan?
god.
Vulcan
That is
hands.
so embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourself, Ben.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only watch cool sci-fi like
It's just a
Farscape.
sign they do. That's it. It's just a sign.
Although you did also say Farscape. So
Farscape's way better. Anyway, yes.
Farscape's awesome.
She leans
I'm
in.
not saying Farscape isn't.
She leans in and tries to hear what Strategies is saying.
Surtees raises their hand and counts. Dracolich? Still like active ships? Map to a treasure.
Map.
Cinnabar is not alive, but Cinnabar is definitely around. You're not fakers.
I mean, but I've seen the pirates and they're definitely not undead, so that would score, and she puts one finger up, score 1 for us winning, right? And then the other one is we've got the map to the map, so it'll be fine. Right? I like Clara is now looking at you for reassurance, like, right?
Sounds like it's something we can at least look into. I mean, I don't see a direction that any of us have really been taking up until this point. This is at least something to do.
At this point, I'm gonna start just doing old man grumbles and going, fucking. I guess you gotta, I guess if you really think about it, you've, I guess you got a point, Artigan. Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, the place we were all staying is no longer. Like, what the fuck else would you expect us to do? Go back out into the desert and spend another 6 days dying of thirst?
I mean, Cavasar is a rich and varied town. I'm sure there's plenty of plot hook. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of interesting characters you could meet here. This is just one of many. I am because I am a person who inhabits a real world. I'm just one of many people in Cavasar who has a varied and interesting tale.
That sentence just went. Oh.
I just take,
she downs like 5 more fire shots.
Yeah, I take the bottle that she's been drinking. I just slide it further away across the table.
No, it's fine. It's already bought and paid, and she's like grabbed both hands around it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
If you want some more, I keep hold of the neck of it. Like, if you want some more, maybe it's best that we all retire and start coming up with something that's actually a plan and not just a bunch of names of places.
She points over to Hoddle and goes, "That one looks like you already bloody did retire, am I right?" And slaps the table, and then like looks around waiting for you all to laugh, and if you don't, she just keeps looking.
Did you not hear the part during the square of he ran at a dragon?
Well, I'm not actually fully 100% sure how big the dragon was, so really that's a scale of scariness, scale like a dragon. And then she like points like all of you in turn to see if you laugh, and then just
I pull the bottle from that point. Like, you'll get this back when you take us to somewhere that we can actually start forming something a bit more cohesive.
I've fucking given you the whole plan. We just gotta steal a boat from a bunch of pirates who possibly work for a demi-lich. It's easy.
I put the bottle back on the table, right, and I lean back. Go on then.
That's the plan. We'll all collectively go and we'll just go steal it.
Lead the way then.
Oh, okay then. And you
See what they do.
She's like slowly stands up and hopes you'll stand up with her. And then if you all stay sit down, she like slowly lowers herself back at the chair. Well, I'm not the best at planning, but you know what I am good at. And she pulls out, like she half pulled out her like jagged edged sword. Good at fucking swordplay. So if someone else as captain, I'm going to delegate the plan.
I want to try and snatch the knife. I want to see how good with sword play she actually is. Like I'm sitting dormant, slow as anything, and then just like lightning bolt reaction.
We'll do an opposed roll for that. We'll go for move, I guess. Move seem appropriate to you?
Move.
Or
Yeah, okay.
sleight of hand, whichever one is highest for you.
Yeah, move. Move is good. So it's base plus skill again, right? Yeah.
Yep. So she got 1 success. Oh, the arrow's the wrong way round, Nathan.
No!
You got the arrow the wrong way round.
Yeah.
It's one failure already.
At some point in this 10-week campaign, I promise I will do one roll success. Oh, I'm gonna. Should I push it?
You don't have to put. It seems like a meaningless roll to push, but I mean, you can push it if you want.
What does it mean if I push it? Is there a downside to this?
Yeah, if you get any skulls, you take damage.
Oh, I'm 1 skull away from dying, right? So that's probably a bad idea.
This is agility though, so you'll take it to agility, not to strength.
Oh, I will. Oh, worth. Let's go.
5 skulls.
Let's go. Oh,
Nothing.
you're kidding me.
Uh,
Let's go again. I can go again, right?
you
Someone do it.
can if you spend a willpower point.
I haven't got one. I just spent.
So no, you can't go again. Yeah,
I'm gonna go to reach, and like my burnt skin gets stuck to itself, and I just yelp in pain as like the skin is basically stuck.
Claret just like puts the finger on the kind of the pommel of her like bow sword and just like barely moves it as you try and reach for it, and you just like scrape.
And then I'm just gonna like flop onto the table at this point, just in pain, and then reach for the alcohol.
Right. Claret, a different approach. You can see from the state of us that we are still wary from travel, and some of us are still quite wounded. Looking over at Model now, I guess. Is he like sprawled across the table? Like,
Yeah. I'm fighting fit.
if we want to do this seriously, we need to find somewhere that we can all bed down and think about this in the morning.
I
Tell you
have
that we're all serious about helping you.
I have a flat. You're all welcome to sleep on the floor.
I don't think this one will mind. Again, I gesture at Hoddle. I think that would be best.
Awesome.
We're serious about this.
I'm as serious as they come, love. Very serious.
I know about
Look at my
you.
sword. Look how serious it is. Look at my
Very
knife. It's a bit blunt,
Yeah,
but it
very
was
nice.
pretty serious. I've got a map to a map. What more do you want?
Awesome. Yes, of course you do. Yeah, I sort of dismissively wave my hand and like nod at them as I'm like looking around at everyone else, seeing if they're up for it, gauging from everyone else's faces how interested they are in this opportunity.
Yeah.
You see,
I want to turn to Artigan and just loud enough. That, yeah, not you know they can still everyone can still hear, but I'm quiet enough so it's obvious I'm just talking to Artigan. Look, we live in a pretty scary world, right?
I would say so.
I've never been scared of anyone less than this person.
Right.
And you think this is serious?
Well, if it doesn't work, then, and I lean in even closer so I can, only he can hear me. There's 4 of us.
I'm gonna sit back, full on like surprised dog style.
And I lean back slowly.
And then I'm all of a sudden got like a rush of adrenaline, like the fight from my younger years is back. I'm gonna go, we're fucking in, we're in.
Clara, because I guess how quiet was that? Because you said everyone could hear, so I guess Clara heard you go. There's 4 of us.
No,
Clara's
I
like,
leaned in like.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I lent
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Those 3 words I said so that only Hoddle could
Okay.
hear, and I leant back.
Clara's like leaning on this table. She's like, that's whatever you just said privately. Probably was really fucking cool. You're gonna be a good crew. I'm excited.
You've just got to have a particular word in. I'm sure you'll come with time.
I throw my hand out. Put it there, Captain.
Aye! And she like shakes your hand really vigorously. Finally, some fucking movement, people. Let's go now. We do need to get you all a little kitted up. I kind of owe a guy. No, he owes me. Ah, fuck it, I've got a sword. They're not gonna mind. Let's go take some shit. And she like gestures and like strolls out the door.
As we're all, I guess, I'll follow her behind now. What I want to say to her.
When Artigan looks at Sirtis just kind of shrugs and she goes, "We've got nowhere to stay."
Well, it looks like we do now, at least for tonight.
Better to do, guys. Let's go.
Whilst we're on the way, I'm gonna activate something that I can do apparently, which I've been up in an hour in for the last 10 minutes. Whilst we're on our way and walking, I'll go into just like one of my little sacks that I've got like hanging off with like little pouch of sacks, and I'll activate my Path of Many Things.
Oh, that's your profession power that lets you grab a trade good.
Yeah, out of the table you gave me. So it's spend willpower points, find any item on that list. It can't be heavy, and it can't be more than a piece of 1 silver per willpower. And I've got 4 willpower, so I could have up to something that's 4 silver then, using all my willpower.
I think you're pulling individual items from the read of that. But I guess. Well, wait, no, it can't be more than a gold. But each willpower is a piece of silver. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Sweet. And I'll pull out a little flask of fluid. But sneakily, so not.
Awesome.
I'll just pocket it into another pocket.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll pull out a little flask, and then you've just got that with you. We'll allow you to do that this time. I think you're supposed to use the item like pretty quickly, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even so.
Yeah, that's fine. You have that now. That's all good. So you're walking through. She's pulling you through basically like a massive market, where a bunch of like the ramshackle kind of houses have been pulled apart, and there's like a market like going on. Can someone give me an investigation roll? Whoever is paying the most attention.
I'm really not. I'm walking behind people, going, "I can't wait to fucking kill her."
What skill would that be, Ben? Because investigation's not a skill.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I'll roll it, but well, depending on what it is.
What would this be? Investigate. Like, it's not a hidden thing. I just want you to try and notice something. So we'll go for scouting.
I can do a scouting roll.
I'm good at scouting. I'll happily jump on that as well. What's my wits at?
I've got nothing, but I'm going to push it. I got 3 successes, and nice.
Yeah, because I'm guessing I only have 2 base attribute because I've took 2 damage in that, right?
Yes.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I'm pushing that as well. Hey.
Awesome. 4 total then.
Awesome. So, as you're walking through the stalls, you notice one that's like selling like sand equipment to basically go exploring the Black Sea, or the Black Sands, depending on what you colloquially call it. You notice, along with like a bunch of ropes and other things, they've got like a bunch of staves that you can basically like hammer in if you're taking a way off the path to like figure your way through that you're supposed to attach a rope to basically like create guide ropes, so you can find your way back. They sell a few types, but one of the ones they specifically sell is exactly the same ones that you saw going from the altar to the area where you found the skiff. Like these kind of like black, they're carved, and they've got like animals like going up in a carving going up them. But they've got like they sell like a lot more basic ones as well, and a few different types of wood and a few bone ones. But they sell exactly the ones that you saw going into the basically leading to the altar. Going through the market, they're selling basically like giant grubs that someone's like roasting. A lot of spices, a lot of incense. It's very perfumed in this area. You're noticing a lot of the food stalls just have like discarded like bug shells or like meat or all of that stuff that's kind of like just like rotting on the ground, but because everyone's perfuming it, no one's really paying that much attention to it. You can definitely get food and rations here, and most of the kind of equipment you would need. There is a bone singer, which is a guy who makes bones into like weapons or equipment and stuff. So if you needed any weapons or equipment out of bone, you can get those. You also notice a glass blower like showing off some of their obsidian wares. So they've got like several daggers, and they've got one sword. It looks like a long sword, but it's all made of that obsidian. And then, just a bunch of food stalls and etc.
On the way through, I'll just buy enough rations for us four.
How much resource dice of rations would you like?
I just want one quick question about resource die as well. If we still have the leaves, what resource die does that count?
That's a D6. That's just
That's a
one.
D6 for water, is it?
And then once it's
And I've
let's
so
go for like
I've already drunk some of that, right?
Yeah, but you weren't actually drinking it for the resource, so we'll allow it to just be thematically you were drinking it.
let's go for. So is it like multiple D6 or is it like I'd go?
So it goes D6, D8, D12.
I'll buy. How much would a D12 be? So I've got.
I
some money thrown at me.
believe it's on gear.
Is it on the?
Give me a second. There should be rations on that thing I sent you.
Oh, my item list. There is.
Should be rations on there.
The field rations is 1 silver.
1 silver, so it would be 10 eyes for a D6, and then another 10 for a D8, and then another 10 for a D10, and then another 10 for a D12.
I will buy 1d8, so that's 20 eyes. I got thrown 50, right?
50, yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So you've bought your set, just yourself that though, so that's only you can test against that. If you want to give them to someone else, you then have a D6 and they have a D6. That's just how that mechanic works. Awesome. So yeah, while you're walking past, you buy. They're essentially like a bunch of dried mealworms and nuts and berries, like in a burlap sack, that you can take.
What's the lowest amount of ration?
A D6.
I'm gonna approach the market stall guy.
Hello, my friend. How can I help you?
Friend. So it's got. I picture it to be quite a tall sort of counter. Looking up. I'll be honest. Not got much. But I've got an empty stomach. How about you stump me some of that grub? And I'll part with you an old dwarf secret tale.
He looks at you and he goes, Are you Grim?
Pardon?
Oh, sorry. Are you Mr. Harfhelm?
I'm gonna look around and go, yeah.
Give me a manipulation roll. Try to lie to someone. I will make you roll.
Just as a note, while he's talking to this vendor, I'd like to try to steal one of the bags of food.
Cool. Give me a sleight of hand roll, as well, from you. So your lie is successful. He goes. You go yes. And he goes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not realize, Mr. Harfhelm. And he like hands you a big sack of grubs and nuts and berries. Please, on the house for you, sir.
How much is this?
You didn't push that, did you, Morgan? A D12. Sorry, Nathan. A D12. He'd give you a big old sack. You didn't push that, so you're all good. That's a success. So, yeah.
It's
Um,
not even offering me the ability to push it. Is that a thing? Because
Ooh.
oh,
I
because there
think it's
aren't any
tricky.
blanks. That's why.
Yes, that is
Because
why.
there's no blanks.
Because that would just, kill you.
Yeah.
I
It's a
want to
smart
ask.
bot. You can take a D6, Morgan. Yes.
I want to do very much the same thing, but I want to cast Cat's Paw, which lets me move without a sound and automatically succeed on a sneak check.
I missed that. You guys stealing things whilst I'm convincing this guy on somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, you can cast that. If you roll me how many willpower you're spending on that spell as dice.
It's a rank 1, so I'll just put 1 into it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
roll me the one.
You can cast this spell instead of rolling sneak, and you automatically succeed.
Okay, give me the one power level dice roll to see if you have a magic mishap.
Of course, always.
And
Always.
Love giving you mishap rolls, Ben. That's fine, because nothing happens.
You're all good. Yeah, so what we see is almost like a purring. The maelstrom seems to almost like ripple in like a purr as you cast this spell. And suddenly your basically movements, everything becomes, all the sound around you becomes kind of dampened to you, and you're able to like very deftly grab a bag of this like mealworm trail mix. So you also have a D6 in this.
6, lovely.
And so the man now like reaches over and tries to put a hand out to shake your hand, Huddle. It's very good to meet you, sir. It's very good.
I look at his hand and just go, have you got any, sorry, any kind of salve or balm for my skin?
Oh, you must have heard that working on the metal. One second, and he like reaches underneath the table and pulls out a what looks to be like a really viscous kind of green fluid, and he goes, "Sometimes I rub this on after I have burnt myself cooking. Please put out your hands." And he like rubs, like it basically gives the same feeling as like aloe vera, like a nice soothing, cooling kind of balm on you.
Does this mean anything for me regaining any health?
Let's say your visible scars go kind of like paler, and you can have 1 strength dice back. So you look less burnt, and you gain a little bit of strength back.
Okay.
Yep. So that and that. So as like after he's finished applying this ointment to, he goes, remember to tell Ivor that I am. This is my food stall. I call it Ivor Foods. I'm named after him. My father loved your master. Please come back anytime. You eat free. Just make sure to tell him. Yes.
The words from my mouth. Ebor will hear of your hospitality.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And he like kisses your hands and like.
I like to think of it like as I turn around and start walking out, the other two sort of are done, and we all walk out as a 3. And I'm without saying it, I'm just gonna look back. I'm just gonna point at like a cooked skewer of some kind of meat and just go.
Oh, to the guy.
Yeah, as in like.
Yes. Please.
I'm just walk out, eating my skewer.
Yeah, it's like really chewy. Like it's mostly really chewy. Then you get to the center and it like pops like a boba tea. It's fucking horrible. Everything in this world sucks. I don't want you to know that.
It's sustained, but it doesn't give you any.
As a man who's ate bugs, they're not that bad.
Yeah, but fantasy gross bugs. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I want to just ask a question of Clarette on the walk through the market and to her accommodation.
Go ahead.
You obviously know, or appear to come across as you know quite a lot about this town and the people in it.
Well, you could say that. Yes, I've lived here for the past year and a half. and I've had a lot of friends in a lot of different places. I will note most of them did die, but not usually my fault. So there's that.
Completely understandable. It's a harsh world we live in.
It
I was
is,
wondering-
isn't it?
It is very much. I was wondering if you had any friends among the many that you've gathered over the years that are affiliates of the arcane. Perhaps mentors in the fashion.
You want to talk to a witch? Now I know some witch. No, she got set on fire. Oh, no. He also got set. Oh, I do know one. Yes. They're more fortune tellery, but down your alley. I think I saw them turn their nose into a cat nose. It was fucking weird. But I can definitely show you a witch. I know one that lives.
Very well. I would.
In fact, we're going to go rob her husband right now.
Oh God! And I put my head in my hands and like, what's her name? I say it.
Her name? Vanka.
Vanka.
Vanka. Aye, we're going to go rob her husband right now.
And just so I know exactly what we're getting into. Who is her husband?
He's Criff. He runs a local shop, but not like one of these fucking market stalls. He's got like a fucking building.
Okay.
Great lad. I either owe him some money or he owes me some money. So either this is a robbery or we're just settling a debt.
He stumbles over his words. What does Criff what does he sell? What are his wares? What is his trade?
Well, usually he sells tools, but I know he's got a supply of weapons because he was gonna sell them to them pirates. But I mean, he either owes me one or we're just gonna fucking steal him. So who cares?
Okay. Good.
Oh, y'all are probably gonna, and then she reaches into she's got kind of like a big slit pocket like cut in her harem pants or harem how the fuck you say that one, harem pants, and pulls out they're very obviously like fake Jolly Roger flags, but the Jolly Roger's been like, it's not printed, it's been painted on like skew-ift, so like it's going corner to corner instead of up and down.
The Jolly Roger in italics.
Yeah, essentially. I was going to fly this on our ships, but I kind of fucked up the painting. So, have this, wear them, because we're either committing a crime or this is totally legal. And, again, can't remember which one.
Okay then.
Awesome! You finish walking through the market stall, all the market stalls, and get to this like kind of rundown, like super shady looking place. It's got like boarded up windows, and Claret like pushes the door like slowly open, and like looks inside and sees it's on a Criff, and goes and like gestures for you to like tie those things around like masks.
Does it fit round my snout?
Yeah.
Barely. No, actually, no, not all. You've got like a fucking full-on snout.
Yeah.
She didn't think that far ahead.
That's fine.
Stratis just pulls their hood up and then like tucks the badly painted Jolly Roger into a pocket somewhere.
Awesome.
So she's wanting us to go in with her, right?
Yes.
I'll go. If things go bad, I could probably do a distraction. So do you want me to wait out here so I can pull attention away from you guys?
Sounds good.
That's
She-
not a bad idea.
She looks
Let's
at your
timeline
face and goes, "You've got really fucking honest eyes. Do you know that?"
They do tell me that. I am as honest as they come, lass. Also, if things do go bad and make a distraction, I have to get back to yours. Where the fuck do you live?
Oh, and she like just points like 2 doors down and like up, like very fucking close to here.
Shit. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, I'll stand outside, and if anything goes badly, I hear anything cock up, I will jump in.
Smart. How are you,
um,
Jolly Roger?
As I'm putting mine on, I go, I've been many things. I'm quite happy about it. I've been many things in my life. Never been a pirate.
Yar! And she like busts. At that, she like swings the door really wide open and steps in and just shouts, "Criff, you fucking son of a bitch!" And then like grabs a knife from under her coat and throws it across the room, instantly pinning the glass eye like currency that he had in his hand, and just draws that like jagged edge tooth sword. And she's like, "Did you owe me some money?" And Criff just like is in total amazement about what's transpiring in his shop. You notice now that he's got like a bunch of like pickaxes and axes, hose, all that kind of stuff like arrayed around. Like there's a few hammers. It's all made out of bone or wood, and he just stands in like full shock and amazement as she walks up and goes, "It doesn't really matter." She sees like a bundle of weapons that he's got like tied up, like he's about to deliver them. Cuts them open with her sword and like rolls out this like sheet of weapons and goes, "What do y'all want?" And she's like now just like wildly gesturing with her sword, like very dangerously, like swinging it, like isn't really paying attention to where the tip is, like knocks over like a vase. Take what you want. So it's just like a set of bone weapons. So whatever bone weapon you want from the list of weapons.
I'm gonna step up first, and I grab an axe, and I go. I'm staring at Criff.
And he just kind of slowly nods.
Who made it?
What do you? It's a the bone singer.
Is this the best one you got?
No.
Where's the best one you got?
And he like shakily like points across the to like it's a glass axe, so it's like an obsidian blade that's been hammered into like an ebony handle. You'll know it'd be more brittle, but it'll do more damage.
I've got one axe. I'm gonna go grab the other axe.
Okay. Yeah, you pick up an obsidian axe. So one of them, I'll give you the stats for those after the game. But yeah, you've
is
got
there anything? Is there like a sheath or anything to hold axes lying around?
No, he doesn't sell leatherwork. He sells tools.
Yeah. Okay. I get to walk out and look back and go to. Thanks.
He kind of looks at Clara, who's still like just wildly waving around her like sawtooth sword, and goes, "No problem."
And I stop that again. Oh, and check out Ebor's food stall in the market. Good guy.
Thank you. Wait, no, you guys can't just take my fucking... And he, like, reaches...
What he walked out.
as he reaches under the table, like, Claret just puts the sawtooth blade, like, under his chin and just stares at him. And then, like, gestures for the next person to come in and take a weapon.
Okay. And I'll walk up, I'd say to him, first of all, I want to look for, like, is there, like, a long dagger of sorts?
Yeah, there's a couple bone daggers there.
Yeah, like sort of, I'll pick up like a sort of bone dagger, and I'll look at him and sort of say, "I'm very sorry about this, my friend. We simply asked her, gesturing at Clara, if she knew where there was a shop, and she refused to take us to one unless we put these on. That's all I know."
Does she does she owe you money, or are you working for her?
I'm still figuring that out. Not quite sure.
You know what happened to the last few people that worked for her, right?
I don't know if it would. It probably came out. It was a lot of drinking. I'm not gonna lie.
He looks at you and then he looks at her, and she's still just like fucking grinning with her sword to his neck, and he's like, "So you found a crew? That's good." And she's just staring at him with the sword to his neck, wildly gesturing for the next person to come in. Yeah,
I look at him again and I say, "My friends and I simply want one item each, will you allow us to take one? There's,
I don't know if you've noticed, friend, but I really don't have a lot of choice in this situation.
well, I'm just simply saying that if you allow that, then we will.
Well, I'd rather you pay for it.
This situation can unfold calmly.
I mean, it's already not very calm. And he looks over at the dagger that's like embedded in the wall. This started off quite not calm. Why? What? What do you mean this
Can
could
I
be calm?
reach for that dagger? And is it take it from the wall?
You can try. It's like really fucking in there though, so I'm gonna need like
can I just like try and heft it?
You're like hefting it, and the board of the wall is like kind of coming with it, and then you like manage to just like wiggle it out, and you've got the throwing dagger that Claret threw.
I like twizzle that in my hands and keep that, and I put the long knife back down.
Awesome.
And I pocket the obsidian
So-
dagger.
Surtees is looking for the biggest weapon in the room.
Shit. So you can probably get it's like a two-handed one of those clubs with a bunch of like
Right.
they kind of look like shark teeth, like arrayed up both sides of it.
Okay. So they go up to this weapon, right? And they try to pick it up from the rack and literally cannot. And it just kind of like, and they try to pick it up again, and it's just embarrassing. And they shrug, and then they go over and they pull a staff off the wall.
Awesome. You can just have a regular staff from the equipment list because it's already wood. Nook, are you
Nah, I'm staying outside.
okay?
You know my character build, it's fine.
So after everyone's taken something, Claret like reaches down, grabs a handful of daggers, puts them in like a massive pocket on her harem pants, and then goes, either I've collected a debt, or I'm guessing this is a fucking robbery. Either way, tell Vanka I said hello, and we might visit her later. And if you call the guards, and she leans in real close, I'll fucking kill you. And smiles, and then just walks out.
Follow.
Have you noticed the theme in all of her stories is all of her companions dies yet? Or,
I mean, I have noticed that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay.
I asked that question at the very first conversation.
However, I turned it around. She's now our companion, so it's all good.
Smart.
So Surtees walks up to Artigan and just quietly says, "She seems kind of fun."
well, there's like Argan's still wearing his mask, but like he pulls it down at that point, and there's like a wry smile on his face. And he doesn't say anything, but he just continues following.
So she leads you up to what is essentially like a destroyed flat. Like it's above like a shop that's selling like kind of, you're getting like curry vibes from it, but again that sickly sweet smell is kind of like drifting through it as well. She's like above a place like selling that. There's essentially like an array of hammocks there, and it seems like she just like tosses all of her like clothing and weapons and the loot from her various things up there. You find a bunch of in the corner, a bunch of what looks like they were originally lock boxes that have just been like smashed to pieces to get out whatever was in there, and kind of painted on one wall is like a bunch of different variations of a like pirate flag. So she's basically drawn like tried to figure out what her preferred design is and gone with just a skull in the end with crossbones. As she walks in, she's like, well, you know, I hope you like the place. Just cleaned it up, so you know, take a hammock. And she like looks around and notices none of them are kind of free because of all that stuff in, and just like turns a few of them over, and all the stuff like falls on the floor, so that you have a place to sleep in one of these hammocks. You can all consider yourself rested, gain all of your attributes back.
All of them?
Yes. That's how resting works in this game.
Like I'm fully healed.
Yep.
That's it.
That's how healing works in this game.
Amazing. I I can actually roll once again.
It's only if you start taking critical injuries do you need any like healing time.
Before, like, as we're all getting down to rest and like, you know, things are starting to settle down, I'll go up to and go, Miss Clarick, we have a.
Sorry, Captain Claret. Remember you agreed to that. Actually, Captain Moore. My last
Captain
name's
Moore is.
Thank you.
I try maybe your accent. Captain Moore. Yeah. Do you mind? Don't mind. I'll have a. Do you want a quick word? I've got some hopeful wisdom to impart. If not, a nice chat.
I love a nice chat. Let's go for a nice chat. We're going for a nice chat, everyone. She like waves. She like tries to lead you to like a half balcony kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'll just go. You are a whirlwind of a person, but I've not lived this long without being able to tell people know when to hold your word, know when to keep your word, and know when to, you know, run the fuck away. I'm guessing you already have some form of idea of that. If things go south when we go to try and steal this, I will be very much running the fuck away. Now I have some plans. We'll get to them tomorrow. Hopefully ones that mean that we can do this pretty easily. But they don't call me Honest Tooth for no reason.
Well, I assumed
your
they
honest
would call you that because you're honest and you got teeth, if I'm fully honest with you.
Tooth.
They call
Singular.
me Claret Moore because my parents called me Claret and their last name was Moore. It's kind of weird that they call you anything that's like kind of based on... Is that your actual last name or is that a nickname? How did that work?
Knolls don't get last names. We flip from place to place.
I know like several Knolls that have last names.
Not from where I'm from.
Okay, but... Like,
I do know a Knoll named Steve. That's pretty weird.
That is kind of weird. Oh, I know a Knoll whose last name is Steve. I wonder if it's the same Knoll.
Probably the same guy.
Probably the same guy.
He's
He's a
the
nice
last
guy.
name.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That might have been the guy who stole the painting off of, actually. Maybe he's
Steve.
not a nice guy.
Maybe not. Either way, I say stick with us, and maybe you'll be able to fly in a straight line for a bit. But you know,
I think we should sail, not fly. I know that you're the plan man, Stan, but sailing. It's the one.
and I'll pat her on the shoulders and go, "Why not fly?" And then just go to bed.
You hear as you leave, she goes, "Why not fly?" Huh. Why not fly? And she just keeps saying that. Like, as you're all, like, getting ready and bedding down, you keep hearing, like, very softly, Why not fly? What? Why not fly?
Oh dear.
Just, like, repeated for the next, like, 15 minutes.
I'm gonna break her with very bad wisdom.
And we're going to end it there, because we're already at 9:30, guys. It was a little bit more of a roleplay heavy episode for you all after the kind of combat heavy episode last week. You've met the wonderful, graceful, elegant, soft-spoken Claret Moore, who is a
Definitely not
wanton
any of
pirate.
those things.
Definitely not. I think she's wonderful.
I love her. I'm not gonna lie, I love her.
Great.
But
I have no idea where
Yeah.
to place Artigan, by the way. I am like, at 1 minute I think he's like, soft-spoken, like, knowledgeable guy, and then he's like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking kill it. I'm like, I have no idea where. It's the one, like, player character I don't know where to place it. And, like, great. I love it.
Artigan's Artigan.
he never specified. He just let Holdall make his own judgment based on the words he said.
Yeah. That's very true.
I love that. So, let us do some XP, shall we? Everyone loves a bit of XP. So,
Yeah.
did you participate in the game session? Yes, you all did gain a piece of XP. Did you travel through a new hex? You didn't, because you were already here. Did you discover a new adventure site? Yes, you did. This is your first time in Cavassar. Did you defeat a monster? No. Did you find any treasure? No. Did you build a function in your stronghold? No. Anyone activate their pride? I don't think so.
No.
I have honest eyes.
But you didn't activate the mechanic for the
No.
pride, did you? Unfortunately. Did anyone suffer from their dark secret?
I didn't. I know that. So.
No.
I didn't.
No, I probably could have if I'd remembered that the key is to suffer from it, but never mind.
Yeah, I had the same thing today. I didn't suffer from it. Wouldn't say I suffered.
You kind of touched on it, but you didn't
Yeah.
like take a direct negative from it.
Yeah.
Did you risk your life for another PC? I don't believe anyone did on the docks. Anyone risk their life for anyone else? Not really.
I stood by Hodel. That was about it. Didn't back down.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
It's Huddle to not to be on the adventure with us, but that's probably not very.
That's
extraordinary.
pretty extraordinary considering he went from Old Man Grumpy to Aye Captain, so enjoy the
Oh,
XP
yeah,
from
fine, I'm
that.
taking it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I convinced the guy I was a different dwarf.
That's not that extraordinary. That was quite an easy
Oh.
convince. In fact, he told you who he thought you were, and you were just like, "Yep."
Yeah, that's me.
But maybe you want to find out who that dwarf is. Maybe that's a little adventure hook. Maybe Kavasar's a diverse city full
Or
of
maybe,
diverse range of
or maybe I'm
characters.
just thinking next episode, roaming around the market, seeing how much I can get away with pretending to be half done.
It's half
Is
Helm,
that his name?
but sure, go for half. See how far you get with the wrong name.
What was his name? Is it not half? I wrote
It's
it down
half Helm.
down. Half Helm. Okay.
Good dwarven name, that. Half Helm. Right, so, thank you all for playing in the Sundered Realms. We will now do our individual goodbyes and sign-offs. We will start with the king of modding himself. 1 of 10, possibly, or 1 of 99, but definitely not 1 of 100, or 1 of less than 10, because he's got 2 digits. Mod King 09,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
give us your sign-off.
Yeah, so go follow me on Modkin Gaming over at Twitch, or one word, 2 G's in the middle, and follow me over at twitter.com/marketing09 or at marketing09 at Twitter. I'm planning to get more active. I'm just letting life settle down first.
Bloody brilliant. Absolutely great. Extra.
Outro.
Outro. That would make way more sense. We will now
I'm
hop
trying to
up.
get your swing.
Yeah, I like it. We shall now hop over to a role-playing gamer who hasn't read the news. Some say he's ignorant, but I just think he's uninformed. Mr. Uninformed RPG, please give us your sign-off.
Thank you very much, Ben. So, as I said earlier, you can find me on YouTube if you search Uninformed RPG. I'm also on Twitter at Uninformed RPG, and it's happening. There's a new video coming out. It's on Monday, and it's about my
Awesome.
3 favourite mechanics from Blades in the Dark. I know, look at the faces of shock. It's been so long since I made a video. But yeah, I feel like Blades in the Dark was the last one of the previous campaigns that we did, which I GM'd. And yeah, new video about my favourite mechanics from within that system, which is very unique, and I know these guys loved it. So yeah, do check that out, please, and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jordan. Please go check out his stuff. We will now hop over to a Shakespearean play. Also a company that makes MDF wargaming terrain, and a big gamer. Look, the TT was a real struggle for me. Tempest TT Games, please give your sign up.
Okay, every time I think that I'm ready for this, and then you come up with some weird bullshit and throw me off my game.
The sign offs aren't fun if I don't throw the guests off the game. Come on.
Hi, I have been Morgan, aka Tempest, and I'm on the Twitch and the Twitter, and I mostly just do TTRPG stuff, really. Designing and world building and playing them on this and other Twitch channels. So you can find me everywhere as Tempest TT Games.
Now we're going to hop over to the last half of the explosive device. A knight in slightly rusty armor. My guy, the grenade himself. Sir Nade, please give your sign off.
Thanks for that, Ben. That was beautiful. The other half of the what are
The
you
last half of an
the other half-
explosive device. Grenade.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It was good. It was a stretch. It was alright. Wasn't as good as Shakespearean play, but I'll take it.
Plus whatever else that was he said.
I know the exact companies.
Yeah, you
I
fucking.
still couldn't find them. Oh dear. I have been Cernade. Please go over to YouTube and search for Off Topic. We've got a lovely video over there, myself and Benjamin Sterland, who is
Just fucking dox me, that's fine.
just been doxed by me. His address is there, and his social security number, and bank details, everything. Yeah, go over there. Look, watch our video about LARP.
It's a good video.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
be
pretty
fair.
good. Well edited, well acted, well performed,
Yeah.
well sound
Well.
mixed.
It's well.
Just well.
There'll be more stuff coming. There'll be more stuff coming. I actually want to say, congrats to Uninformed RPG on getting that video out. That's quite impressive.
I'm only congratulating him when it goes fucking live, because this could be a lie.
I
He's
think-
told us it's
I think-
coming before.
I think coming out of the pandemic, I think it's been really tough for everyone to sort of, return to normal life. And getting back to normal life, people going to work, people who've got other commitments and whatnot. And I think it's been tricky to make content and stuff. And Jordan's done it and put us all to shame.
I don't know, I've been hosting this show for the past 2 weeks.
Longer than that.
That's content, There's a lot of there's been content here.
And where can we find that content, Ben?
Well,
Yeah.
is no one going to try and fuck my name up
That
into
was a good segue.
into a ridiculous description, please?
When someone stood there peeing on a torch, what is it doing? It's flickering. Yeah.
Yeah, going with it.
Good.
Fucking son of a bitch, I love you. Right, you can find me here on twitch.tv / or / the flickering torch, whatever slash you want to fucking use, probably works. You can find me over on youtube.com / the flickering torch, where these episodes come out a week later in glorious video on demand on youtube.com / the flickering torch. Find me on Twitter at the flickering torch. We dropped the for the tweeters. Or you could just find me generally. Sometimes I go to the Flapper in Birmingham for a few drinks. If you want to buy me a drink, go down there.
Well, now who's doxing yourself?
That's
It's quite
literally
far
like-
away from my
then again,
house.
it's gonna dox myself as well.
Don't
That's
dox
only
anyone
going
else.
anyway.
Let's stop
The point
doxing.
of doxing is so that people can find you.
Yeah, fine. You can find me at that
Basically
pub,
just
buy me a drink.
Don't follow him home.
You can follow me home if if we have a bit of conversation.
pay
I
for
ask you
you,
to come
but-
home with me. But we're here. We're playing games every now and again, every week.
Press the go offline button.
I'd rather just keep dying.
Please.
The wooden bucket went onto the side of his screen.
Say bye-bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Layers, guys.
Bye. Jesus Christ.